From a really young age, my parents have always shown me the importance of education. They told me to give it my best to obtain what I really want, in this case, a degree in medicine. They told me to pursue my passion in helping people, to explore my intellectual curiosity of the human body, and to not forget my roots, no matter how far in life I go. But yet, my mom didn't wake up on the first day of first grade to take me on the bus because she kept on saying, just 5 more minutes. Ironically, I'm the one that says that now when I don't want to go to school. And my dad pretended to forget when my 6th year graduation was. But I mean, it's okay because I pretend to forget when his birthday is to play it even. And we were always late to school events. Well, we still are. Actually, I was actually late today, so just... As of right now, my life pretty much consists of the endless workload of calculus I get from my math teacher, Dr. Scholl, and many other classes. It sucks, but we had to embrace the suck because that's what we learned from. My day's just like any other. I wake up, I go to school, I get good grades, I say bye to my parents, get my siblings ready as well. I go to calculus, chemistry, regret, wondering why I forecasted for classes, wanting to drop out because I forecasted for those classes, up to watching Netflix because I'm done stressing about those classes. You know, just typical high school student things. I also talk to my siblings about their day, from big brother conversations from like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, to even little kids talk about like, hey, have you heard of this new song, or have you downloaded this new game? And we clean and we wait for my parents to get home. And when parents get home, we talk to them about our days as well because they're actively involved in our school. For example, I'll be telling them, hey, I got into this program, hey, I got into that, hey, I'm going to give a TED talk, and Mom was like, what's that? I was like, yo, it's about like a thing where you go and talk to people, and you just like share your story, or like you just do your things. And just recently, I got to tell my parents that I was going to get an internship at the Oregon Health and Sciences University to conduct cancer cell research over the summer with the mentor, which has been one of my greatest accomplishments so far. And we also go out when we're bored. We go out to the park, we go out to eat, McDonald's, you know, just like regular fast food or anything else. And we also just drive around when we're stressed. We're a happy family, a typical family. But no one really knows what goes on behind closed doors. See, the things that I told you were just the things I wanted you guys to know. The things that you could probably see when you just look at me like any other person. I didn't add in the part that I had to wake up in the morning to get my siblings ready for school because my parents had to go to work early in the morning. I didn't add in the part that I say bye to my parents not knowing if they'll be back home by dinner time. I didn't add in the part that instead of focusing on calculus or chemistry, I run scenarios in my head all day thinking of what will I do if what I fear becomes a reality. Some teachers notice that something is wrong, but I'll just shrug it off and be like, no, don't worry about it, everything's cool, just to bring less attention towards myself and to make myself not think about it as much. I didn't add in the part that when we go out for essentials, that when we go out now, it's just for essentials. To avoid the ugly stares coming our way and due to fear, people from our community that had gone from friendly smiles to stares of anger, repulsion, and rejection. I didn't add in the part that those big brother conversations that I have with my siblings had gone from don't be doing this, don't do that, to this is what we will do if mom and dad doesn't get to make it home tonight by dinner. I didn't add in the part that we also tried to minimize our exposure to the outside world because my 6-year-old sister starts crying and screaming, please don't take mom or please don't take dad, when we see a police officer because my 6-year-old sister is still too young to know the difference between a police officer and them. My 6-year-old sister is still too young to know that this is a reality. We all go through this on a daily basis just because we are a few in 5 million. We are all hidden in plain sight. It could be your friend, your enemy, your best student, your neighbor, probably even the person sitting next to you right now. We're all just go through this because we are a few in 5 million. I am 1 in 5 million. I am the son of undocumented immigrants. And no, I'm not here to rant about how unfair this is. I am not here to demand something from each and every one of you. I'm just here to give you a perspective of what we go through on a daily basis. To know that our current situation does not only rip apart families, but sabotages the state of our youth, of our future generations, of our American citizens. Being the child of undocumented immigrants affects us emotionally. It's a constant stress that just bugs you nonstop. It hits you and hits you, and you just have to take it there. We go from being typical teenagers, from teenagers that go out with friends, explore things, try out new things, to then having the legal custody of our siblings the very next day. We go from planning as a family to planning about, this is what we will do if one of our parents isn't gonna make it home tonight. But don't get me wrong, the stress is always there. But just recently, it's been trying to break out from the deepest and darkest corner that we all have it locked in. According to the study conducted by the University of Texas at Austin, students with undocumented parents are most likely to have symptoms of depression and anxiety. It's just something that we have to carry on with. And most of us have figured out a way to just mold it and to pretend like it's not there. But in reality, it is just hitting us and hitting us in the back of our minds. How can we be the land of the free if this is the home of the afraid? Being the child of undocumented immigrants affects us economically. See, my parents, and I imagine a majority of our parents, have also escaped their countries to not be engaged with poverty they live in. But they just returned to it here due to their current legal status. It does not allow them to obtain better jobs, therefore not being able to climb wages, not being able to climb benefits, not being able to do anything. While the majority of my peers' parents are retiring at the age of 60, I will have to live on knowing that my parents are going to still have to be working. According to a study conducted by New America, 75% of students with undocumented parents are at or 185% below the federal poverty level. This majorly affects me because I have a father that works in agriculture, and during the fall season, that's when he gets us hours. So that means less food, less money, less motivation, less hope, but we do get more things. We get more debts, more loans, more payments, more stress, more everything, just more of the negative things. And what we do to kind of shield it from our siblings, we just pretend like everything is fine and we eat less and less so our siblings can eat more and more. After every single loan that my parents get, trying to pay it off, my dreams of becoming a doctor are farther and farther away. Being the child of undocumented immigrants affects us academically. Not only does it make it really hard to pursue a post-secondary education, but the constant stress and the nonstop bugging does not let you concentrate on your studies. According to a study conducted by UCLA, students with undocumented parents are most likely to have behavioral and learning problems. In addition, mothers who are undocumented are less likely to enroll their child into a preschool due to fear of deportation, therefore setting a knowledge and vocabulary gap. These kids go to school not knowing a single drop of English, and that was one of them as well. When I started kindergarten, I didn't know anything, and it was a scary experience. I was having to immerse myself in a new culture, in a new language, and ironically, it's the place where I live. Since I was one of those kids, I imagine probably someone in this room was one of them as well, so they can probably relate to what I'm saying. But now, I used to live in fear once. I used to believe that remaining quiet was the best way to solve things, but then reality struck. Just a few months ago, one of my best friends had gone through all this situation. He was ripped apart from his parents, especially his dad. Seeing my friend, my brother, go through his current situation was surely taxing because I was wondering, how can our own country do this to me? How can our country do this to him? How can the country that I am willing to fight for do this to the people that we all care about? But something that I learned with that situation was that no matter how hard you fall, you have to pick yourself back up and help everyone around you. You have to get up and help those who are still fallen. Because if you can't stand up, then who's going to help everyone around? But now, imagine if we live in a society where people didn't judge or discriminate or just stereotype based on skin color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, legal status, the list goes on. If we want to know, we're going to have to learn how to care. We're going to have to learn how to be considerate, how to be compatible with each other, how to accept our differences. We have to learn that we have to give the same amount of respect that we desire. We have to learn how to love each other despite our differences. But like I said, I'm just one in 5 million. One of the 5 million students that wants to pursue their dreams and keep their family together. Thank you.